Well, it seems the day before actually entered into early access, but the game is far from perfect. It's pretty much what you would expect for an early access game that has taken 5 years to develop, with volunteers piecing this thing together. Well, before we get fully into the details here, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, and comment down below. I can't ask more than that. So just do that. It's Christmas. Give me your sub and we'll be happy. It's going to be a great Christmas all around. Anyway, the day before, well, it's launched into early access. Early access is one of those titles, one of those weird spots to see a game go in, especially when they have a $40 USD price tag, which translates to $52 Canadian. That's a lot of money to go into an early access game. That's something I generally won't drop into an early access game. You know, $12 to $20 I usually see an early access game. Then if they come out later on where they ask for more money for the game or put out a DLC or offer something unique in there, that's usually where I look at it. But this game right now is overwhelmingly negative. Everyone's pissed. They've completely ruined all the good faith with this game. If there was any in the first place, there was a lot of. If you look back at my original video on Fantastic, the developers of this game, I have a lot of questions if they're legitimate. It looks to me like they're in this just to get a quick buck. And after today, selling at $40 a head with 38,000 people that peeked out the game, that's $1.5 million American. So they've made a bunch of money. Now they get to sit back and relax again. So I'm not quite sure where this is going to lie. Now, usually when a game comes first out, you usually will see a uptick or a level off. But this one in particular, 38,000 peak, right now they're down to already 12,000 people in game, and it's dropping fast. Mostly because a lot of people are very upset over this game with the day before. So you can see here, overwhelmingly negative. This is early access game, $51.99. I've covered this in a couple videos with a very questionable tale of this game, or Fantastic. They market it as a massive multiplayer online. Like you're going to be able to race around, fight zombies, kill zombies, and play this like World of Warcraft. Like that's what it was marketed like. Instead, what they get is a basic shooter with random spawns of zombies jumping out of cars and the odd floating head, I guess. A lot of these screen caps I've seen of just what looks like floating heads, these giant heads, the giant gorilla arms coming down from the sky, and hundreds among hundreds of car alarms going off, attracting absolutely nothing in the game. The mobs don't even spawn fast enough. The servers are overloaded. This game is absolutely abysmal. Now, it is early access, but the other side of that coin is this is 5 years, and now they're entering early access. Most games don't even go through the development like this. A lot of the reviewers, this is not an open world MMO, it's a small area extraction shooter. The devs deleted all the old videos showing the open world elements. The city is dead and there is barely any open buildings. There are no survival elements in this game because it's based on being an extraction based shooter like Tarkov. Shame the game couldn't have been the next DayZ. I would not recommend buying this game. Most of the city isn't open anyways. So what they've done is made a very small map. You run around, you've got tall buildings, and you shoot a couple zombies that jump out and scare you. That's from what I'm seeing from a lot of gameplay. There's lots of people over on Twitch right now viewing this game, and no one is really surprised at what they're saying. You know, people are calling it a scam. It's not an open world survival game. I'm even seeing some people mention you should report it because it's not what it is. I'm not going to be buying this game. I'm taking the advice here and saying, don't waste your money on this game. No melee in a survival game. That's another very sticking point for a lot of people. You're in a survival game like Resident Evil. You're running around against zombies. You have a weapon, you have a gun, but now you can't melee the zombies. On top of that, you cannot vault cars. You can't climb on the cars. You can't get over walls. You have to run in a straight line. And in some cases, you got to take the long way around because you can't even hop a barricade. In a zombie-style shooter, that's kind of important to be able to do things like that. Yeah, the day before refund. No vaulting, no directional audio, no melee, can't climb ladders, zombies tank 5 shots before they die, barely any zombies in a zombie game. They promised open world massive multiplayer, a survival game. We got an extraction shooter looter. You can't enter 90% of the buildings on the map. This ain't no Grand Theft Auto. This is not no DayZ. This isn't even Tarkov at this point. You have an open map that is a mishmash of a bunch of games, and it's done by the same people that made Prop Hunt, which was the same MO. It was the same style of game where they took the ideas from several different games and just amalgamated into one and gave you a product that's sort of workable at this point. And it's looking like this is everything that this game is going to live up to be. Anyway, I'm your proud Canadian Phoenix Cineshadow. I'm signing off here. This has not been the day before because it's crashed and burned on its first day. Maybe it gets better. Maybe they actually turn this around and actually take advice of a lot of people out there and come out with a proper game. But right now, there's 8,000 reviewers on here, and overly majority of them are bad. There's one here that's a positive. The lack of servers are frustrating, and the bugs are there, of course. But I like the atmosphere and the vibe. That is the few things I'm hearing. The good side of things is people like the idea of this. That's the thing. People want this game. They want the game that was marketed, and now they're not getting it. So that's why people are pissed. That's why everyone's giving it negative reviews. If they turn it around and actually were able to open it up like an MMO, like they said this would be, I think a lot of people would be very happy with shelling over some money for this. But $40 American, 52 Canadian, it's just far too much. Have yourselves a great day.